everybody, I'm Edie and welcome to Garden of Edie. I reversed my super high blood pressure eating garden food. No pills, just plants, and you can too. So join me in my garden and join me in my kitchen and we will show you all sorts of fabulous, delicious, healthy recipes that will heal whatever ails you. Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen and we are making something really good for the heart. Enchiladas. And you're saying, no way, Jose, because enchiladas have cheese and the meat and everything that's not heart healthy. And if you are trying to heal your heart like I did, this is the enchilada for you. And by the way, you can eat the whole enchilada. It is my Garden of Edie collard wrapped black bean enchilada. Let me tell you what's in it. All the ingredients are so good for us from head to the toe, not just for the heart. First, we make a tomato sauce, and it's gonna have this box of no salt tomatoes, onions, garlic, tomato paste, which is so filled with lycopene, and cumin and chili powder, and a little bit of oat milk that I made myself, so easy, 3 cups of water, 1 cup of oats, blend it up, strain it, oat milk, and it doesn't cost like it does at the grocery store, and it doesn't have added ingredients. And maple syrup at the end just to build that sweetness up. So healthy. Now that's the sauce, but what's in the wrap? Well, we're gonna wrap it with these collard greens from my garden. And did you know that collard greens are so healthy and they're great for the heart because they're cruciferous, right? They're green, leafy greens are healthy. They have lots of protein in them. And by the way, this is unbelievable. They curb your appetite. They help with weight management. So why not? Okay, and then on this, we're gonna make this beautiful, this is butternut squash and onions, and we're gonna roast those all together with lime and chili and garlic and all sorts of good seasonings. And then we're also gonna make a black bean puree. We're gonna put a chipotle water in it. And when you season your water, and you blend it with your beans, you season your beans. So easy. I'm gonna show you how I slice the butternut squash. I peel it really, really good, take all the pith off, I take out that round bulbous end and the bottom. And so what we wanna do is cut straight down like this. And then you just make little 1/4-inch half moons. Now we just put them in the sticks, like slice them into sticks. And when they roast, they get a little soft, but they also shrink a little bit. You know, I never knew a collard green until the Garden of Edie. I'm not kidding. I had never had one. I don't think they grew them in Texas or something. I know they do now. When's the first time you had a collard green? Comment below, because I'm telling you, I'd never heard of them. And I'm from the South. Okay, now in a bowl, we're gonna mix all the butternut squash. And you know, this bright orange, you know what that means? Younger looking skin. All those anthocyanins, I'm telling you, that's what I'm thinking about all the time. We're gonna add the red onions, sliced very thinly, mix it together. And to that, we're gonna have the garlic and the chili powder. We're just gonna put a teaspoon of each, and then we're gonna squeeze a lot of lime in it. And this keeps it moist while it's roasting. You really don't need salt because the lime brings that tartness. Now we're gonna mix all this together, and pour it on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. If you roast them as is, the onions are gonna burn before the butternut squash is cooked. What I like to do is cover it with parchment paper and then silver foil. You never, ever, ever want your silver foil to touch your vegetables or your food because it's got aluminum in it. And that's not good for the brain. So you definitely don't want your foil touching your food. So I just cover it like this, and I'm gonna let them bake for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you can check it, but probably about 20 minutes at 400 degrees. I'm gonna take them out and then I'm gonna take off the foil and the parchment paper and just let them roast for another 10 minutes just to get a little golden brown. Okay, now we're gonna make the tomato sauce. And I dry saute, because why add fat when you don't need to? It's still delicious. First, you turn on the heat to about medium high. Wait till it's hot. You know it's hot when it sizzles. Okay. And now I'm gonna turn it down. This is 1 whole yellow sweet onion. I'm gonna turn it down And what's amazing about this dry saute, I know y'all have seen me do it before, but if you haven't, you just put it in a dry pan. I love it in this ceramic coated one. And as you turn it down, the onions start to sweat. They release their juices and their oils. Have you ever had a roasted onion just without oil? It's very, it's very oily. They have their own oils. Why don't we use their oils instead of someone else's? It takes a few minutes, and what I like to do is cover it. See, it's starting to brown a little bit. That's okay. I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna turn it down to low. It's gonna take about a minute or two. I'm gonna give it another stir. It's gonna get translucent. And then I'm gonna add the garlic, minced garlic, 2 cloves or more if you love it garlicky. Turning a little translucent. I'm gonna add the garlic. I like to give it a stir and try to smell it. The minute I smell it, which is already, I'm smelling it. Okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, now I'm going to add some of the spices. The cumin and chili powder. So now see how it's all melding together? Now I'm going to add chopped tomatoes. These are the no salt added tomatoes from Pomi. I love it. And then we're gonna have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And this is so delicious because it adds a depth. And it's so healthy for us. Doesn't this look delicious already? I'm gonna turn the heat up and we are gonna simmer this. I'm gonna add this oat milk that I talked about just for a little bit of creaminess and a little bit of flavor. And we're gonna simmer it for about 10-15 minutes. In the meantime, now we've got our tomato sauce simmering, we've got our vegetables roasting. Now we're gonna make the black bean spread. Now, I came up with this recipe because I like things smoky tasting, being from Texas. So how do you make it smoky? You can put chipotle sauce in it, but that's salty and it's vinegary and it's like not so healthy. So I came up with this idea to get a dried chipotle pepper. And I soaked it in about a cup of boiling water, just for a few minutes, just about 10 or 15 minutes, okay? So this chipotle has given off its fragrance. Now I'm gonna strain this chipotle water, I call it. So we don't want these seeds because they're super spicy. Now we're gonna pour this. This is a can of black beans, no salt added. Now we're gonna put this delicious liquor, they call it, of chipotle water, half a cup. That's all you need. And we're gonna make our spread. Ooh, it smells so good. Can you imagine this with the butternut squash and the roasted red onions and the collard green wrap and the tomatoes? Oh my goodness. Your heart is gonna love you so much. I'm going to finish this off with this tablespoon of maple syrup. And what that does is it brings out the sweetness of the tomatoes. Okay, let's give it a taste, should we? Ooh, that's hot. That's good, but you know what? I want a teeny, that's why I had this on the side. Teeny bit more. So like maybe another tablespoon. I think that's the way to do it. You can taste it again. I also like to add some black pepper. And I like it spicy, so I add red pepper flakes too. So feel free to do that also. You know, my favorite peppercorns is called telecherry. They are spicy, they're fresher. They, I don't know what it is about them, but they are really the most delicious peppercorns, black peppercorns. So look for that in the stores. What's interesting about these collard greens coming right from the garden is they're very, very soft already. You could just eat them raw. You really could. I'm just gonna steam them ever so slightly in this steamer. I'm just gonna steam them for, I don't know, a couple minutes. Okay, now the enchilada ingredients are ready to go. Let's do it. Let's roll. I put the inside up, and first we're gonna spread it with this delicious black bean spread. It's gonna make about 4 or 6, depending on how big your leaves are. You could make really huge ones and cut them into thirds. We really wanna stay away from the fats. If we have any kind of health opportunity, maybe a little avocado, maybe a few nuts, but the oils and the butters and all the things, the meat, what happens is it makes our blood thick, and then it's really hard for the heart to pump, pulling that thick blood from the liver. So there's so many delicious options, you guys, so you gotta try this, okay? So now we have this delicious bean spread. Smells good. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of this deliciously spiced butternut squash and red onion. And then just like a spoonful of brown rice. This kind of mimics, you know, like the shredded meat or whatever that goes into an enchilada. Let's roll this baby up. I like to pull in the sides first. Isn't this beautiful? Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna finish doing the rest, just 3 of them. We're gonna put them in the tomato sauce and we're gonna reheat them and then we're gonna eat them. Now that's an enchilada that you can eat the whole enchilada. Isn't it beautiful? I decided at the last minute. There are all these wonderful Alfonso mangoes in the grocery store. They're the yellow ones. They are so delicious, a little coconutty tasting, a little different than the red ones. And I thought just a little avocado, a little tomato, and a little mango on top. Try this, you guys, it's so delicious. Now we're gonna plate up just for one.